Okay, welcome back to Tara's Toolbox. Today we're going to do a product review on a handheld sprayer. It's called the Graco TC Pro airless handheld. I just got it a few days ago. I used it for a job. I sprayed a couple doors with it. It comes with a canister, and this is the corded version. It also has a battery operated version, but I got the cordless version because I don't have a DeWalt battery. I don't like DeWalt, sorry DeWalt, but I'm a Milwaukee guy, as we all know by now. But today we're gonna pretty much spray a door with it, and we're gonna see exactly how good this thing sprays. I've already used it to spray a couple doors. The default tip that came with it was not a fine finish tip. It's for spraying things that you don't mind having a thick coat on, but I put a fine finish tip on it because I'm spraying the door and I don't want it to be too chunky. So the first thing you do when you're painting the door, you got to mask it off. So what you're going to do is you're going to mask the sides off and these sides off, so when you're spraying, you don't get no overspraying on the walls. So this paper, you can get it by the roll at Home Depot or at Walmart. It's like $2. Get it from your local store. And it's probably better if you use the beige looking tape, not the painter's tape, because this doesn't stick that well and it just might fly off as you're painting it. This is a quick masker. You guys probably don't have one of these unless you're a professional painter, but it makes it a whole lot easier to mask stuff off. You can hand brush the hinges if you wanted to. So I'm gonna just tape over the hinges for now. I'm just trying to show you guys how the sprayer works. Make sure if you try it to use masking tape. Painter's tape is not a good thing to mask stuff off with. It doesn't stick well because it's not made to mask stuff off. It's made to go on top of paint without ripping the paint off the wall. So you're gonna do both sides, top and the bottom. Make sure you do a good job at masking off, because if you don't, you're gonna get spray all over the place, and that won't be good. A good paint job is one when you do good prep work. If the prep work not good, then the paint job is bad and sloppy, and people are gonna complain. Excuse me, guys. Some of you guys probably never heard a sneeze like that before. Only on Tara's Toolbox. Exclusive. So you're gonna mask off so it won't fly back onto the paint after you spray the door. Use little pieces of tape. You don't have to use a long piece. You want to kind of stay, be conservative. Tape costs money. I'm trying to save money. Make sure that you tape up all the sides. Okay. So after you got it taped off to the side, you want to make sure that this is stuck on the sides. Because if it flies off while you're painting and it lands on the door, you're going to have to retape and respray everything all over again. And we don't want to do that. So you make sure that you rub it down, make sure it's stuck on there. Like that, okay? So after you got it stuck on there, now it's time to get the paint. And let me show you what paint we're using. So for this project today, we're doing an exterior door, so we're gonna be using bare satin. I've used this before, sorry guys. Can't really see the label, a little splashy. So we're going to be using this to spray the door pure white. Right now it's white, but it's not a pure white. Pure white is like the whitest white you can get. So I got to crack this thing open. I don't have a can opener on me. So I found a screw. You're going to open it up. Well, actually I'm going to shake it up first. You gotta make sure you let your lip hang when you shake. And if you're a woman, you can shake your hips with it. Shake your hips, shake your hips. Or you can bang it. Bang, 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 bang. I'm just kidding, guys. But yeah, make sure you got it mixed up really good. When your paint is not mixed up, it's not going to cover well. So you make sure that you mix it up really good, and you gotta have a paint opener handy when you're doing this. I can't find it, so what I usually use this. You see, I don't like to clean off the edges of my paint cans, and this is what happens. It gets stuck on here. And you can't get it off when you get ready to use your paint. So like I was saying, the gun we're using today is a Graco TC Pro airless handheld sprayer. And we're gonna use it to spray that door that we just masked off. This is ridiculous. I can't even get the can top off. Okay, here we go. Here we go, baby. Okay, take a look at that. Look at how pure white that is. Looks like milkshake. Am I giving you guys hunger pains? Hunger pains. Okay, so here it is. I had a little bit of water in it because I just cleaned it out from a job that I just did, but this is how it works. So basically you put the cup in, you put the paint in here, make sure that it's mixed up. And with this gun, you don't even have to thin it out. Like most handheld guns, you gotta thin the paint out. But with this gun right here, you don't have to thin the paint out. It shoots it out straight as it is. So we're gonna add some paint in here. Check it out, guys. Look at how creamy that is. It got a few clumps in it. It shouldn't have no clumps in it. You should use a paint strainer or something like that, but I'm not using one for this demonstration. So after you fill up the gun, it has to be primed. Okay? So the cup goes on the bottom and you screw it on like this here. You screw it on. So the way you prime it, it's a little cap on the top. See this? Open up the cap and you're gonna squeeze it until the paint comes all the way up to the cap and you stop hearing air. and that means that it's primed, and you close the little top back down. So after you do that, you're gonna hit this little switch, and that's prime mode. And what that does is suck the paint into the gun. So I flip the switch, make sure that you plug it in. And you just click it like 2 or 3 times, and then it should be primed. So after you do that, you're gonna wanna test it out on something. So I'm gonna shoot it at this chair right quick. And there you go. Want to make sure that it's coming out thick. So right now I got on a reverse valve. Right now it was in clog mode, but you turn it around and you put it in spray mode. Spray mode, you're able to spray. Okay? And as it comes out, that's what it is. Now we're going to go over here to this door and we're going to shoot it. Now usually I would have a drop cloth, but I don't have one right now. I forgot to mask off the doorknob, guys. Very important. So whenever you're masking off a doorknob, here's what I've learned from my experience. You want to make sure that when you put the masking tape on the doorknob, the tape is not touching the door. You can leave like a little hair of space between the tape and the door to make sure that when the paint dries on the door, it doesn't pull back off. So this is what it looks like when you mask it off. Can you get a close up, huh? So we come right here. You make sure you're not touching the door. Don't want to be on the door with it. You want to be just a hair away from the door, okay? And you go around the whole handle like that. And then you just pull it down a little bit, rip it off, and then you finish it off. Up underneath it, you won't be able to see it, but just make sure that you're not touching the door with the tape. Okay, so after you get that first part on there, now you tape off the front so that you don't get no spray on it. Make sure it's completely covered because you don't want to get no spray on your doorknob. But if you do, it can come off because latex paint, you can easily scratch it off, but we don't want to do all of that. So the same thing with the bottom doorknob. Make sure that the tape does not touch the door. You want to have like a hair line of space. So when you pull the tape off, it doesn't come off of the door. Okay? And you're going to make sure that you cover the whole doorknob, because we don't want paint on the doorknob. I repeat, it will not be pretty. Okay? So as you guys see, I'm giving you all my little secrets. You're seeing how it goes down when you're masking off the doorknob. Okay. Okay. So now that you got the doorknob mask all off, now it's time to spray. So this gun is so easy to use, and when you put the fine finish tip on it, it gives a really even spray. It's almost like using an airless sprayer. So basically what you do is, you don't want to paint, like you want to do long strokes with it. Okay? You don't want to go side to side. You want to go up and down. Okay? So here we go. And get a close up on this door. Let's see, just so you guys can have a before and after. As you can see, mold and mildew, it grew into the paint because it wasn't the right paint. But we're going to spray this on here, which is mildew resistant by Bear. So we're going to spray it on here. You ready? Here we go. And sometimes the gun gets clogged up, so when it gets clogged up, when it gets clogged up, it has a reverse tip on it, and you turn the tip around. See how it has an open mouth right there? Turn the tip around and you shoot the clog out. After you get the clog out, it should be ready to spray again. So you come back to your piece and make sure when you clean your nozzle out, you don't shoot this on people's grass or on their floors, because nobody wants paint on their floors. Okay. So here we go. Make sure that you tape, let me show you guys a little mistake. Make sure that you tape the bottom piece of paper too, because as you see, the wind blew it up and it went on my piece. So that's an important step that I left out. Ah, you stupid. Important step that I left out, and make sure that you guys don't make that same mistake. So make sure that you tape it, or if you have a sheet or a blanket or a drop cloth, you could just put it on top of it so that it keeps it held down. Okay, so after you got that there, now you finish up the painting. So you just go up and down. And that's it. That's the Graco sprayer. It works good. You just gotta use good paint. Make sure there's no chunks in it, because if it got chunks, it's gonna clog up the tip. But on a scale of 1 to 10, it's a lifesaver. It works pretty good. You just gotta use it the right way. Okay, another important thing about painting, and if you mask something off, you gotta make sure that you take the paint off, the tape off while it's wet. If you wait too long to take the tape off, what's gonna happen is the paint gonna dry between the tape and the surface that you painted, and it's gonna end up pulling the paint off of the door. And then you're gonna have to paint it all over again. So you wanna take the tape off. So what I do is I start in the corner. Don't start in the middle, because if you start in the middle, the paper gonna fly back onto the door and you gotta paint the whole door again. So I start in the corner, I'm careful, don't rush it, and you're just gonna peel upward, away from the door. And as you pull it off, you're balling the paper up. You're balling the paper up as you take it off. And the reason why you're doing that is because you're trying to make sure that the paper doesn't fly back onto your workpiece. Okay? So you're pulling away from the door. You're not pulling up, you're pulling away from the door, and you're balling it up as you take it off. Okay? Same thing with the top. You're gonna take it and you're gonna pull it away from the door. And you're gonna ball it up as you go down. Trying to be neat and clean as possible. That's the key to a good paint job. Okay? Now for the tape on the door, you gotta be really careful with this, because you could be taking the tape off and your thumb or your finger hit the door. I had that happen to me a couple of times, so you gotta be really careful with that. Be patient, don't rush it, because if you mess up, you gotta do it again. So you just take it off. You're being careful not to touch the door. And you're also being careful not to pull the tape off, let it hang and flap back and hit the door. Flap, it just mess up your whole paint job. So you take it and you peel carefully. Now when you get near the door, you're gonna have to pull away. Always pull away from your piece. Never pull up, never pull backward, just pull away from it, because you don't want the tape to touch the door. Always pull away. Take your time. It's not a rush. It's better to take your time and be slow than to do it fast and mess up and have to do the whole thing again. So, always peel your tape off and your masking stuff off when it's wet. Major key. So once you pull it off, you got this wet paint stained paper, you want to make sure that you discard of it. Either throw it in the garbage can or have a plastic bag nearby so you can get rid of it, so you don't end up stepping on it and tracking it into the house or something like that. So after you're done spraying with your gun, you done did what you had to do, the way you clean it out is you take off the bottom. Wow, I'm messing up my table. Well, anyway, you take off the bottom. If you got any excess paint, you can pour it back into your can and reuse it. Look at all those chunks. That's why I was clogging up. Ain't nothing wrong with the gun or me. It was just the paint. Clogged. Has some chunks of paint in here. It's old paint. Okay? So this right here is a liner. You can either throw it away or wash it out and reuse it. When you buy the gun, it comes with like 5 of these. But I'm going to try to reuse this thing. So basically, you take it out. You're going to rinse it out first. Make sure you're not buying whatever you painted when you're rinsing stuff off, because you're going to get water on it and you'll have to do it all over again. And we don't want to do it over again. And make sure that when you're cleaning out your gun and stuff, make sure you got on some old shoes, old clothes, because you're going to get paint on you. Unless you're invisible. I don't think I have any ghosts out there watching me. Okay, so you rinse the cup out just like you rinsing out a regular cup at home, washing the dishes, and then you're gonna take the cup liner and you put it back into this thingy right here, and then you screw it back onto the bottom of the gun. Well, actually, what I like to do is you want to rinse the paint off of here, because you want to try to get it as clean as possible, so you won't have to fill the cup up so many times. So you rinse off the bottom. Try to shoot it in this little hole. So you shoot it in there until you see it coming out clear. Make sure you shoot it on the tip too. Flip your tip around, shoot it on the other side. Okay? So once you rinse it out like that, you're gonna put the cup back on, right? Like this. It screws on. So after you screw it on, you're gonna put it in prime mode. Boop! Switch goes down like that. And you're gonna flip the gun upside down, and you're just gonna press the button. And as you can see, all of the paint is coming off of the motor or the pump or whatever's on the inside of there, and it's cleaning itself off. So you're gonna do that. You're gonna do this like 3 times, maybe. Or you're gonna do it until you see it clear. So you pour it out, you rinse it out again, put a little bit of water in there, where you're gonna fill it up. Put it on there again. Same thing, you're just gonna turn it upside down, let it run. Take the cup off, pour it out. And yeah, this does seem a little aggravating, but this is what you gotta do to clean it out. By the way, the gun is $400, so you better clean it out and take care of it. Or you're gonna have to buy it over again. And we don't wanna buy it over again. We wanna make some money with this thing. And you guys might be like, $400 for a sprayer? Well, yeah, $400 for a sprayer. Think about it. If you paint 2 doors for $150, you made $300. Paint 1 more door, you made your money back. Paint more doors, now you're making money. So it's an investment. So you flip it over again. Okay, so after you do it, like on the 3rd time, you're gonna prime it again. You're gonna squeeze it until you stop hearing the squishy sound. And then you're gonna press the trigger like 3 times. Now it's primed, now you can spray. It's clogged up from last time, but the tip clogged up. But anyway, you keep rinsing this out until make sure that when you use these babies that you put clean paint in it with no clumps in it, because you're going to clog up your spray tip. And these spray tips, you can buy them. They don't sell the FFLP tips in Home Depot. You got to get these from Sherwin-Williams. They only sell them there. And the tips, just this little green thing, is like $30. And the little blue thing that it connects to is like $30. So you're going to spend like $50. I got this one on sale for $25 though. As you can see, I just cleared out a clog. So this method right here works a little bit better if you spray the hose inside this hole at the same time you press the button. Keep it going until the water is clear coming out. So basically we got a clean gun now. We're going to run this clean water back through it again. This is a really messy job. As you can see, I'm getting all tangled up with my camera mic. Okay, so you want to make sure that you wipe the tip off. See, it's dirty. So what I use is my FFLP sprayer brush, and I just clean it off a little bit. Make sure you want to clean the inside of the prime valve. So you spray a little water in it. You probably want to make sure that you don't spray it inside of here, because this is electrical components, and you don't want to put water and electric together because you get shocked. But I love this gun though. It uses the same tip as I use on my big airless sprayer. So basically right now I'm putting back the clean water in it so I can run it through my tip to clean my tip out, because the gun is pretty clean. Got a little bit of paint in here. That might be where my clog is. So basically that's what the tip end of a tip looks like. So we're going to clean it out. Use the brush, go side to side. Don't use a wire brush because I think wire brush will kind of clog up the tip. So I'm using this bristle brush that came with my HVLP sprayer. So I'm putting it back on so I can clear my tip out. Well, first you got to prime it. Like I say, to prime it, you just squeeze the bottle till it comes out the top. Close it back up. Switch on the prime valve. Press it, then you flip it back up. And now you're ready to spray. Now it's clear. As you can see, it sprays a nice misty fan. Pretty nice. And that's my review on the Graco TC Pro airless handheld sprayer. And I recommend it. If you're gonna be spraying doors, make sure you get an FFLP tip. The tip size that I'm using is a 310 tip. If you're spraying something like a house or a wall or something, you want to get a 518. Anything with a 5 on it will work because it'll give you a bigger fan pattern. So I recommend it, and if you want to buy one of these, click on the link in the description and make sure that you guys subscribe because I got more videos coming. And yeah, share it and subscribe. We out.
When you get older, you get wise. You know the difference between truth spitters and liars. The rights to wrongs, no more spinning your tires. Sinners can't take the heat, but they choose to sit in the fire. Chest out, head up, but they ain't looking no higher. Job turkeys getting dipped in the fryer. My flow cold and make you wanna go and change your attire. Wordsmith, Christ like ceasefire. Strongholds can't grip, razor sharp barbed wire. Here grown past tense, that's prior. Like wind on dry grass. TDA brush fire, I'm inspired by the spirit, shut them up, none higher. All I need is God, man, forget my desires. Blessed man, understands, know it all's less than. Wise word coming from a wise man. I'm submerged in the blood, whole body y'all in like a baptism. And this is how it goes. It goes down. Got my eyes open wide so I can see my calling. God's on my own.